Reggae just extra with last
It's a free Take down Babylon is a call to Rastafarians to fight against Babylon. This term is used by Rastas to describe anywhere black people are oppressed. The European powers took many Africans as slaves, and the people of Africa were divided up and sent into exile as captives throughout the world. The areas of captivity became known as Babylon. In this upbeat, charged song off of confrontation, Marley writes about his belief that reggae music will help destroy Babylon. My name is Ras Dennis, and I urge you to subscribe to our YouTube channel for full reggae gist, facts, and culture.
Reggae just extra with Ras Dennis.
And their whole people across the world.
Reggae just extra with Ras Dennis.
It's a free Take down Babylon is a call to Rastafarians to fight against Babylon. This term is used by Rastas to describe anywhere black people are oppressed. The European powers took many Africans as slaves, and the people of Africa...
Under pressure, black people under pressure. Under pressure, Nigerians under pressure. Under pressure, Africans under pressure. No food, we belly. No money in our pocket. No bed, feel we hate. The people, they must suffer. In a ghetto, in a city, everywhere that me go, me see them. Some are cry, some are die, some are weeping, some are wailing. Everywhere that me go, under pressure we well, under pressure. Under pressure, everybody under pressure. Under pressure, black and white, under pressure. Under pressure, Europeans under pressure. Can't get no food if we go feel we belly. Philippine, you too, no have no mother. Philippine, you too, no have no father. Philippine, you too, no have no brother. Philippine, you too, no have no sister. I'm a kimono, me just chatting to you. Chanta this I want me not go chat it all day. Hey, under pressure we well, under pressure. Under pressure Europeans, under pressure. Under pressure Africans, under pressure. Under pressure Nigerians, under pressure.
I don't think you'd have to be a genius to know that the last thing the Horn of Africa needs is more foreign military bases, more weapons and more European meddling. What we call our strategic relationship isn't about human flourishing, it's about the EU's ambitions as a superpower. There's now a new great game in the Horn of Africa. Greater and lesser powers are pockmarking the place with military bases. France, the US, China, Germany, Japan, Italy, Saudi Arabia all have a presence in the tiny area of Djibouti alone. Mercenaries are swarming in from all quarters. The entire region is being militarised. War is in the air. And what about the people facing climate and food insecurity? None of this benefits them. We talk about instability, but we only make it worse. We flood the place with weapons, hand over the profits to European arms companies and charge the bill to our citizens. And then with the carnage, we go back in and we do it all again. It's a racket. Strategic relationship, it's one thing after another, isn't it? Really, it's the same as it ever was. And all I can say is, God save Africa from Europeans offering help.
One more thing. Let's get together to fight this holy Armageddon. So when the man comes, there will be no doom. Have pity on those whose chances grow thin. There ain't no hiding place from the Father of creation. Yeah. One love. What about
Hey, good morning, fellow Nigerians, fellow Africans. This is Smart Mado Jaja, the anchor of Nigeria Now at ONN and the Nightingale Radio International, broadcasting live from Houston, Texas. United States of America. This is one of our unscheduled programs. You know, people have been calling me, some accusing me that I am a Biafran. I am being sponsored by some foreign interest to do what I am doing. You know, when you speak the truth in Africa, especially in Nigeria, they will allude a lot of things around you, but who cares? What I care about is the liberation of Nigeria and by extension, the whole of African continent, because I'm a Rasta. Rastas don't work for Babylon. Rasta don't work for people who exploit us. Rastas don't support drug dealers. Rastas don't support certificate forgers. Rastas don't support those who perjure and lie to their people with sitting illegally, illegitimately, and inordinately on seats of government. Rastas don't support vote riggers. We are very, very natural, real people, and that is why we don't behave the way of the world. Who cares what anybody thinks about what? So if you are listening to this program, please do yourself, do Africa, do Nigeria a favor, share it, you know, and subscribe to our channel. And what we're trying to do is to be that powerful alternative to Africa's mainstream media, especially those in Nigeria. They have been so corrupted and they have been so bamboozled that they see the truth, they don't speak it. As we speak right now, there are two wars raging in Nigeria that is not being reported at all. The southeast of Nigeria is under assault by the Nigerian army, armed forces. Yes, I can call someone now. I hope she's going to be awake to listen to tell you what is happening in Imo State as we speak. Thousands of young people are being harassed. Some are being murdered extrajudicially and buried in shallow graves, and nobody's going to hear anything about them. The Nigerian mainstream media is like this because they have been told to be quiet while this carnage goes on. In the northwest and the part of north central, the same thing is happening. The Hausa people are under assault. They have been run out of their farms. Their people, women and children are being kidnapped by same people who have they morph. They are Boko Haram in the north, in the northeast, but downwards, heading south of the country, they morph into, they call them nice, beautiful name, bandits. They are kidnapping, raping, and robbing Nigerians. What a sad situation. But what we are going to be talking about today is the difference between Boko Haram and Biafra. Because a lot of people, a lot of Nigerians are ignorant about what is taking place. They think that Boko Haram is a religious insurgency. Hell no, it is not. The difference between the agitation for the state of Biafra and the French economic Boko Haram. Biafra is a generational ideological consciousness arising from the shutting out of the Igbos out of full access to opportunities in Nigeria. This is no news. Everybody knows that they said what they called war that we know as genocide ended in 1970, and they talked about reconciliation, reconstruction, and whatever, the 3 R's. That never has been, never. The Igbos were not reintegrated into Nigeria. All the effort that they have made have been self-efforts. No policy direction that made their reintegration into Nigeria was made. Everything, they have been forcing their ways. They have been rejected. And as we speak, do you know that the chemical engineering department at the University of Nigeria is still being shut down because Nigeria is so scared of the Igbos? You told us that the war is ended, but the war has assumed a psychological dimension where the media of Nigeria, this corrupt media, didn't start today, controlled by a section of Nigeria, has pumped wrong information about the Igbos into the head, down the spine of Nigerians, not just across tribes. in Nigeria. Everybody is suspicious. Everybody is afraid. Everybody will jump on the Igbo man whenever their silly gods became thirsty of blood. This nonsense got to end. And sadly, the Igbos don't even know how to articulate their problems. So they would generate the type of understanding that is expected of the rest of Nigeria. But I have decided to do it on their behalf. Call me Igbo, call me Biafra, I will take it. It doesn't matter. All right? But you know, if I'm truly Biafran, I won't be talking about opening Nigeria. And the message of Biafra actually is a call to action, a call, it's a cry for attention by the Igbos. It's not because that the Igbos actually wanted to leave Nigeria. Far from it. They are the most patriotic Nigerians. They are the Nigerians that are everywhere. People sit down in their various places and complain that the Igbos don't allow people in their place. How will you sit your ass in your place and you didn't move and you expect to be awarded a place in Igbo land, which is part of Nigeria? You refuse to explore. And then all you do is because your parents have handed this thing generationally over to you through oral tradition. Everybody hates an Igbo man. But that bloody bullshit has to come to an end. So the Biafran agitation is far different from what the people of Nigeria think it is. Igbos don't want to leave. Bring justice, peace through justice. Everything will be okay. Even as some people among the Igbos are agitating, the Igbos are still building every part of Nigeria. Every part of Nigeria. They come. Whenever they live in a place, they make their presence felt. They develop their immediate environment. They get involved with the community. Which other tribe is doing it in Nigeria? Find one and tell me which one it is. So people need to really come to a clear understanding of what the plight of the Igbo, just like the plight of the Hausas in Nigeria, who came under a serious attack in 1804 that they call jihad. The jihad has still not ended. The Hausa man is still suffering. The Hausa man actually is the most abused Nigerian. With their massive number, they lost their identity, they lost their say, they disordered their leadership. They are the poorest. They punish them with poverty. They punish them with illiteracy. They punish them with disease. They criminally shut them out of access to opportunity in Nigeria. The same people who use them to rob Nigeria, blackmail Nigeria, don't ever give anything down back to them. They control everything. How can a minority control the whole of a massive north of Nigeria? It's sad. That is the story of the Hausa people. But we are going to talk about that hopefully next Saturday, when a young Hausa man will come and speak to the people of Nigeria. This is what we represent. Boko Haram is an economic insurgency created by France for the control of economic resources in and around the Chad Basin, using brainwashed fighters fueled by a rogue Islamic ideology that runs on drugs and assorted illegally acquired firearms, with which they fight and kill poor, innocent, and defenseless citizens across religions, including Muslims, in the name of an economic god that lives in Paris, France, that they don't know, and not the almighty Allah that they are made to believe that they are fighting for. Even the man who is firing AK-47 in the name of Allah behind Boko Haram insurgency doesn't even know that he's fighting for France. And you know why Bazoum was removed from power in Niger? People who don't even understand, even those who claim that they are Muslim in the north, they don't even know why Bazoum was removed from power. Bazoum was involved intricately with France and Boko Haram. Buhari was involved in it. That is why Buhari protected them. They never attacked them. Yes, they were involved. Some northern, those who call themselves northern leaders are involved in the arms sales and the proceeds of the massacre of their own people in the north. There are more Muslims being murdered by Boko Haram than any other religion. So you people who live in the north. You Nigerians who live in the north, you don't know a damn thing about what is happening in your place. They blindfold you with Allah, they blindfold you with Islam. But what is taking place is pure cold-blooded robbery against you. So this is the reason you must rise up against those who claim that they hold the power in the north, the northern political establishment, the robbers, armed robbers there who use the name of the north to rob and blackmail Nigeria, but give absolutely nothing to the people of the north. Nigerians, we deserve a change. We deserve a real revolution that will start in the mosques and the churches, because a lot of evil is being committed in the name of God and Allah in Nigeria. But the poor people have become so repressed and so divided, even in poverty, that they rise up in defense of their oppressors who should go down. And that is exactly what we are talking. When we are talking about change in Nigeria, we want a Nigeria that can be integrated. How can a Nigeria exist for 63 years? You are still telling me that, because this person is from the south of Nigeria. Oh, he's from the north of Nigeria. He's an Igbo man, so I cannot deal with him. You know, whenever there's anything, any national issue that Nigerians are supposed to unite to fight, you know what? They divide the people. They tell them the south is not good. Those from the south say, oh, you can't trust those in the north. They create this schism. 63-year-old schism, getting worse. We can never build a real nation with this type of attitude. And a few people are those behind these manipulative games. We know them. They dress like us. They pretend to worship the same God that we do. They are hypocrites. They don't believe in God. It's anyone who believes in God. Why will anyone who believes in God arm somebody, starve you to death, and then give you stipend, and then ask you to go and kill, and you go and kill foolishly for him in the name of God, in the name of Allah? So this is what we must understand. How they operate. It's a trade. It's a game that they are playing. So that is why I love these young men in Niger. They held down their ground. France is evil, just like their other European imperial collaborators that are operating everywhere in Africa. They have no business being in Africa. They should be asked, all of them. I hear something is brewing in Chad right now. Let them go. I tell you, when they go, Boko Haram will cease. All the terrorist organizations operating that they call them those in the Sahel. How can an American come and be fighting terrorism in Nigeria, for goodness sake? For goodness sake. Why should they have military bases all over Africa? You think they are fighting terrorism? No. They are terrorizing you, taking your economy, they're taking it down, taking your natural resources, and you are being foolish. That's why we should change how we elect leaders. Elect leaders who can defend you and defend your interest. We don't have that in Africa. That is why Africa is so divided. Even look at what is happening in the Middle East right now. You know, Africa wants to make itself, Africans want to make their continent a battleground for something that has nothing to do with them. You have this multiplicity of problems in Nigeria and all over Africa. You can't come together to solve them. And you are fighting and standing up for Palestinians. We are burning Israeli flags. You are stupid. Absolutely stupid. In Africa, Nigerians, you have a criminal sitting on your presidential seat. You can't do anything. You are not doing anything. You are crying. You are crying how hard things are. You can't unite yourself to push him out. So that's what you must do right now. Yes. You know, I've decided to say what people have been afraid of saying in Nigeria because somebody has to do it. Our millions of young people are stagnated. There's a stampede among them. You are asking me why there is so much crime in Nigeria right now? Why should there not be crimes? There should be. The crimes in Nigeria is not real. It's manipulated, poverty-driven, pseudo-manipulation. People wake up, there's nowhere to turn to. They will turn on themselves. But I want them to turn on their oppressors right now instead of turning on themselves. But I tell you, oppressors in Nigeria, your high gates will not protect you when the hour of judgment will come. And it's coming soon. You think you can use the army right now, you can use the police to fence off our people. Very soon, the army will be, a Nigerian army has become overwhelmed in the first place. And you know what? There are frustrated members of the Nigerian armed forces. They will turn the guns on you because you are abusing them. Army soldiers are not supposed to be seen on the streets of any country. Where I have lived here, the government here don't use soldiers to harass people. They don't use soldiers to quell civil disturbances. The police is what come out, and the police understand their duty. Their duty is not them versus the people. Their duty is to maintain law and order. When people are protesting, yes, they will allow them protest, but what they will guard them against destroying properties belonging to the state, because the state is an entity. The job of the police, the job of the army is not to protect a government or its drivers. Their job is to protect state and the citizens from harming themselves. And when you see protests in responsible environments, except Africa, you see the police, they'll line up. They know because they feel the same thing that you are feeling. They go to the same market. So you are fighting for them, and they treat you with respect. When you truly go out of the line, yes, they will effect an arrest. But they will not arrest you from expressing yourselves, as well as, speaking up against a failing government. That is not their business. The job of a police is never to defend a government or defend its drivers. But in Nigeria, it's a different ball game. The police will be carrying an umbrella for the wife of a bloody, stupid, corrupt, idiotic governor. All right, they carry bags for them. They even escort them to toilets. They do all kinds of manual labor for them. That is not supposed to be your job. If you truly are a police who is worth your onions, who understand the content of your training. But sadly, you know what? Corruption has a network in the Nigerian police. Every inspector general of police will come and say, okay, all roadblocks in Nigeria, over. Before the next day, they are back because they make returns to him. All the money you see they collect on the road, it trickles down until it gets to the inspector general of police. Yeah, they are going to deny that they don't know. The same thing is happening in DSS. Everywhere, the whole country is down with corruption. That is why we are where we are. So the people, you who understand, you are still afraid. You are still afraid. You are afraid of government. The government is supposed to be afraid of you. Yes, because you are the people. You are the instrument. You are the ones who make a government. You are the one who takes down a government. Like I said, I had the so-called corrupt Chief Justice of Nigeria saying that they don't rely on public opinion to adjudicate or make pass judgments. Yes, because Nigerians are ignorant of their rights. Who the hell is he to come and make that type of pronouncement ahead of the ruling that they are going to give? So Nigeria, since you are waiting for your Supreme Court, I tell you, you are going to be so disappointed because they are going to repeat the same nasty thing that they did at the whatever level it was, the presidential tribunal, that is corrupt decision has been taken, appeal at the Supreme Court. Let me tell you something. I look at Nigerian court system like I look at the Super Eagles now. I played soccer. I was very fanatical about playing soccer. But when the Eagles started becoming something else, I stopped, putting my heart where they are because I don't want to have a heart attack. So the same way, I've looked at the judiciary in Nigeria. The same way I've looked at the media in Nigeria since 1992. I quit paying attention to anything that comes out of the Nigerian media, because there's nothing that comes out of that media but lies. Because the drivers of the mainstream media in Nigeria are corrupt, massively corrupt. They are not any people that anybody should take seriously over anything. Before, they were the same people will write the same story, depending on how much money they are given. They will tweak your story according to how much money they get from you. Yes, the media that is practitioners will sit at home and create big news line that they didn't even go to the news scene to create screaming headlines. That is how bad Nigeria has gone down with corruption. So anyway, going back to the real deal, the difference between Biafran agitation and Boko Haram. I hope you got the message now, the real gist. So when you wake up and start talking to Igbos about Biafra, you don't understand what it is. It's a state of mind. It's a consciousness arising from what Nigeria has done to the Igbos between 1967 till now. The war hasn't ended. Every time, you can imagine a Nigerian living in Lagos, living in the southwest of Nigeria, living in the north of Nigeria. Every little opportunity the people there who claim that they are the owners of those lands have, they will start unleashing mayhem on the Igbos. They start destroying their property. They start killing them. They start doing all sorts of things in their own country. Actually, these are the most authentic Nigerians. Yes, the proudest Nigerians, those who have made Nigeria proud, the people who are everywhere in Nigeria, those who drive commerce in Nigeria, they are these people. And you say you can exist with them? Okay, now let them go. Let us see how you will have your Nigeria. The day the Igbo people will leave Nigeria, that will be the end of Nigeria. So how are you going to exist? Wow, tell me. I am from the Niger Delta, for instance. How are you going to really run? I'm not going to be part of those who have been oppressing Nigeria, as in the Igbos leave Nigeria. No, I am not. I'm not sure anybody want to tolerate a minority whose elites think that they own Nigeria, though erroneously, because all of us have been keeping quiet for them. So now, if you are from anywhere in Nigeria, you better stand up for your right. There are also people I am inviting you to come. They have been duping you since a very long time, 200 plus years of you being rendered useless in your own country. You are authentic Africans. You are not Arabs. You are Black Africans. Hausa people, I'm speaking to you. Come to the mainstream of Nigeria and take your stance. And let us see if Nigeria will not be balanced. So that is the thing. So the threat to Nigeria's unity, we all know where it is coming from. So we got to take all the Europeans away. We have got to send all the Arabs away. We don't want their ways. Yes, if they come and respect us as visitors, yes, we will open our country, we will open our continent, because this is the reason why we must open Africa. Beyond opening Nigeria, Africa needs to be open. Africa needs to be borderless. Africa needs to have one currency. Africa needs to have one economy. Africa needs to have an integrated government. Africa needs to have one army. And when we have all this in line with the vision of our founding fathers, Africa will be the strongest entity on the surface of this earth. But guess what? There is a fear about the unity of Africa. When the unity of Africa is talked about, it sends shivers down some spines, because it will be goodbye to oppression. It will be goodbye to exploitation. It will be goodbye to those who fly into Congo, into the thick forest of Congo, where they have a makeshift airport to dig uranium, dig up diamond, dig up rubies, and go pack everything and go, and then instigate confusion, instigate wars there. They know that those things will end. They won't be able to do them anymore. And they will know that that will be the end of ethnic domination in Africa. Yes, the reason why we are where we are right now is this fake, stupid ethnic rivalry everywhere in Africa, especially wars in Nigeria. I tell you, the day Africa will unite, we will end that, because Africa will have a swift response mechanism to troublemakers in the continent. And then you'll be dealing with African police, you'll be dealing with the African army. And then the type of police we are going to be having will be police that will be so local, those who know the hideout of criminals because they are from those places. We know people we grew up together who are bad. We are able to preemptively take care of them. But in terms of armed forces, Africa will have the strongest armed forces on the surface of the earth. So this is what is making the world afraid of Africa. So that's why they will do everything to prop up puppets like Bola Ahmed Tinubu in Nigeria, prop up Akufo-Addo in Ghana, prop up of Alassane Ouattara in Ivory Coast, prop up with William Ruto in Kenya, and Paul Biya, Cameroon, and a host of others who must be forced out of this for Africa to be on that pathway to its unification. So once again, Boko Haram is not a religious thing. The drivers are business makers. Yes, they are business men and women, all right, who benefit off of the blood of the African people. Unfortunately, those who are firing the shots don't know what they are firing. They give them drugs and they lose control of their minds. But very soon, they will find out who they are and then start fighting back on behalf of Mother Africa. Listen to this, and so you can understand what is taking place, the confusion that they have placed us in, so we will never understand anything. So we'll continue to remain schizophrenics. Listen to this.
Do you want to know what is a scam? A scam is having the Bible translated into Swahili, Yoruba, Igbo, Zulu, and every other African language, but having 0 scientific books translated into a single African language. That is a conspiracy. That is a trap, and that's a scam. Someone who can be scammed with the same trick over and over again for decades upon decades is considered a fool, and their gullibility and lack of critical thinking make them willing participants in their own destruction. I have walked into different libraries, and I have seen university science books translated into Chinese, Russian, Portuguese, Arabic, and so forth. I have seen Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill translated into French. I have seen the Japanese version of A Man's Search for Meaning. I have seen the Spanish version of Alchemist. I have seen the Arabic version of The Art of War. All these books, I have seen them in various languages, but none in any African language. An African child is sent to Arabic school just to learn Arabic, so that he can read the word of her supposed creator, while the Arab prays and learn in their own language. African child learns and pray in other languages. You will find churches in Africa where the English became preacher would have a native translator next to them doing the translation. Here's where the scam comes. And you will never find a school in Africa where the teacher will have a translator next to them to translate chemistry, physics, mathematics, geography, economics to the students. I have seen many science books translate into various languages, but none in any African language. The Chinese are taught mathematics in Chinese. The Japanese are taught engineering in Japanese. They are all taught finance, chemistry, astrophysics, accounting, medicine, geology, government in their languages. The only book that Africans have had in their languages is the Bible and Quran. The only time Africans have something translated them to in their language is in a church and mosque. The black African wretched of the earth is the only member of the human race who has been brainwashed to think that his ancestors bequeathed him with a curse that has prevented him from attaining his goal and desires. Almost every misfortune he encounters on earth is the fault of some ancestors who must be bound and cast in the fire of the Holy Ghost. The white people don't have terrible ancestors. The Arab that enslaved Africans for 700 years don't have wicked ancestors. No member of humans race has wicked ancestors who have done terrible things. No, it's only the black Africans. Black Africans are the only member of human race that will sit down, write a movie script to mock or belittle his or her heritage, In Western world, Xmas is the biggest festival. Christmas stemmed from both the Roman paganism and Roman cultures. The biggest festival in Arab world is Eid al-Fitr. The biggest festival in Israel is Pesach. The biggest festival in China is Spring Festival. Festival of Light is the biggest festival in India. Black people are probably the only human species on planet Earth that helps other race celebrate their own festivals, but nobody celebrates theirs with them. They generally believe their own ways are inferior. Therefore, it's hard for them to evolve the beautiful things their ancestors left. He belittled the ancestors who gave him life. The continent is the only continent where Christianity and Islam concept of a God is shared equally. Even though both preach peace and love, yet there is no peace and love. When an African man is not praying to a foreign god, he will be treating himself in a foreign hospital, or visiting another man's country for religious purposes, or praying to his own creator in Arabic. He calls another man's history holy book, just because they told him to ask him, what is holy about the book? It's an abomination for him to see the world through his own culture. Slaves weren't allowed to do that. He steals money from his land to keep in a foreign land. His god and his country was created for him. No wonder nobody respects him. The black man is roaming around the world like a tortoise without a shell. He has no backbone, zero identity. No one respects him. He is lynched in Malaysia, incarcerated in Cambodia. He is shot like a dog in the streets of America. Not until we all free our minds from mental slavery, we will be wretched of the world. Welcome to Clarity Revolution. Subscribe to our YouTube for more longer content. For thinkers alone.
Yes, Africans, you heard it. Go and digest that message and hear what we are dealing with Nigeria, especially some of you from other parts of Africa who don't understand what is taking place in Nigeria, and you are telling us to pray for leaders, pray for criminals. God did not tell us to pray for any criminal, including those from Nigeria who tell us that we should be quiet because their men from their tribes are involved destroying our country, and so we should be silent as if we are aliens to Nigeria. Hear this. These are the people who lead you and surrounding the evil criminal holding Nigeria hostage right now. Listen. Yes, so you still think we should not end this rat race? It's time to end this rat race. It's time for Nigerians to unite. It's time for the people of Africa to unite and retake every inch of our country and our continent. It is for us to defend fiercely and guard jealously. God bless Nigeria. God bless Africa. God bless every person who will share this message. This is a message for the moment. Let us stop deceiving ourselves, waiting that God will come down to solve our problems. He's not coming. It is in our position to solve the problem, because the God that we are talking about, he gave us dominion over all things, including dominion to reject bad and evil government that is governing Africa into oblivion. Rise up, the people of Africa. Good morning. Hey! Yaduro! Song! Hey! Oh, what a racket! Oh, what a racket! Oh, what a racket! This is a rat race. Rat race. Some are lawful, some are bastard, some are jacket. Oh, what a rat race. Rat race. Some are gaga, some are hooligan, some are guinea gaga. In this fair rat race. Rat race, I'm singing, yeah, when the cat's away, the mice we play, political violence, fear your city, yeah, don't involve Rasta in your, say, I'm saying, Rasta don't walk for no imperialist, rat race. Rat race, rat race, rat race. I'm saying, when you think it's peace and safety, a sudden destruction, boom! Collective security for security, yeah. Don't forget your history, Africa. Know your destiny in the abundance of water. The food is tasty. Rat race. Rat race. Rat race. Rat race. Oh, what a disgrace to see the human race in a rat race. Rat race. You got the horse race, you got the dog race, you got the human race. But this is a rat race. Rat race. Hey! Africa unite. Our country. In this whole of Nigeria, don't waste time now. Hey! Hey. I remember Thomas Sankara. Here is a Emperor Haile Selassie. Here is citizen. Hey, went into the hollow chamber of the cell and carted away Abdel Nasser, the symbol of Walimo of the National Assembly. Yeah. What type of example is that? Here is a country where the government allegedly spent 600 billion feeding students at home, students who were on lockdown, and nobody is raising a finger. How on earth do we have a country that cannot cater
to its use.
One more thing. Let's get together to fight this holy Armageddon. So when the man comes, there will be no doom. Have pity on those whose chances grow thin. There ain't no hiding place from the Father of creation. Yeah. One love. What about the
Open Nigeria, open Nigeria, open Nigeria, open Nigeria. Fún lọ síwájú Nàìjíríà, open Nigeria. Kádìbò fẹ́ni tó tọ́, open Nigeria. Ẹni tó tọ́ tó lè bá wa ṣe, open Nigeria. Kò sí náà kó lè dohun ìtàn, open Nigeria. Fátàjàjà ń gbìyànjú o, open Nigeria. Kí gbogbo wa ó gbé lárugẹ, open Nigeria. Open Nigeria, open Nigeria, open Nigeria, open Nigeria. Ká má wo tiwa, ká má wo tẹ̀yà o, open Nigeria. Ká má wo tẹ̀sìn, ká má wo tẹ̀lẹ́yàmẹ̀yà o, open Nigeria. Ẹ dìbò ẹ tẹ̀bẹ̀ kó dópin, open Nigeria. Nàìjíríà yóò ṣẹ́ dìde o.
One day, some great opportunity stands before you and calls upon you to stand up for some great principle, some great issue, some great cause. And you refuse to do it because you are afraid. You refuse to do it because you want to live longer. You're afraid that you will lose your job, or you're afraid that you will be criticized, or that you will lose your popularity. Are you afraid that somebody will stab you, or shoot at you, or bomb your house? Yes. And so you refuse to take the stand. Well, you may go on and live until you are 90, but you're just as dead at 38 as you would be at 90. And the cessation of breathing in your life is but the belated announcement of an earlier death of the spirit. Yes. You died when you refused to stand up for right. Yes. You died when you refused to stand up for truth. You died when you refused to stand up for justice.